So I don't know about you, but when I first saw this headline, my immediate thought was that Biden was tired of him and his golden boy Cuomo, the granny-killing governor of New York, being shown up by DeSantis in Florida. So he just decided to lock them all away for a little while. What are your thoughts on these potential travel restrictions?
I would say your instincts are precisely right. I mean, Florida's very existence right now is a repudiation of the entire lockdown agenda. And the heck of it is that everybody got to see this the other day for the Super Bowl, right? So, happy fans, celebrating fans, life seems to be more or less normal. Can you imagine what that must have looked like? And I can tell you, I live in Massachusetts. It looks like a bit of a shock. So it's a repudiation of all the lockdown governors and the lockdown agenda and the disease panic. And so we've got a whole state here with this great, very highly scientifically minded governor, Ron DeSantis, who's let people live their normal lives and has protected the elderly in the state, of which there are many. And as a result, their data looks better than the average state. So I think they're number 27th in deaths per capita in Florida, and yet everybody's living a normal life. Kids are in school. You can go to the movies. You go to restaurants. People they're actually behaving like Americans, and that's something that rubbed the Biden administration really wrongly. There's like, well, this is not going to work. So now you've got the Biden administration considering what I consider morally unconscionable idea of travel restrictions to and from Florida. It's a pure political punishment designed to isolate and ideologically repudiate what all the states in the United States should have done, which is to stay open and take care of their elderly, vulnerable populations. That's precisely what happened in Florida, and apparently the Biden administration just can't stand it, and now they're using all the power of the federal government. Considering using all the power of the federal government to repudiate this idea. And there's also another political element here. Why don't we just say it? DeSantis is favored for a very beautiful political future. He and Kristi Noem were the great resistors in 2020, and their courage and their actions have inspired multitudes of Republicans to say this is what we should do: rally around the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, use good science, protect people who are vulnerable, to otherwise let people go about their business. And that vision infuriates the Biden administration, is driving them to this extremist totalitarian position. I don't believe they're going to get away with it, but it's shocking that they're even considering it.
And it's shocking that there was literally no retaliation whatsoever when that report came out from the New York State's Attorney General, Letitia, and she was claiming that the nursing homes there in the state of New York, that they were underreported by about 50%. So the deaths were in excess, I believe, of over 12,000 nursing home deaths. And of course, a lot of that directly goes back to how Governor Andrew Cuomo how he handled it when he put back infected patients back into nursing homes, even while he was telling the public that it goes like wildfire through these nursing homes. And yet that's what he was doing. He was putting them into the nursing homes. And yet we're supposed to look at Florida as if they're the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, so even from February, we knew that the coronavirus was a nursing home problem, and I heard on the radio today that Cuomo permitted COVID-19 patients to enter nursing homes. That's actually inaccurate. He required by force of law that nursing homes not refuse anyone who tested positive for COVID-19. So there's a direct moral culpability there. And the truth is coming out. You're right that the media is not reporting it, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. And it doesn't mean that the truth is not going to come out, and it will come out. I mean, government policies from these lockdown states are directly responsible for the deaths of countless tens of thousands of people. Did you also notice that the CDC has raised fundamental questions about case numbers recently? It apparently is the case that a third of Americans have already been exposed or otherwise contracted some aspect of COVID-19. What's interesting about that is it raises fundamental questions even about the case numbers. And I saw that the COVID tracking project is shutting down because they themselves don't believe the case numbers anymore. There's a lot we have to come to terms with about what's happened to us over the last catastrophic 12 months. And I don't believe the truth is going to be suppressed, despite Twitter, despite Facebook. The truth's going to come out.